So today we are going over a load of topics and discussing whether they are overrated, underrated, or fairly rated. This includes skins, POIs, seasons, events, and more. So we're going to get straight into it. There's 14 in total. Let's start with Tilted Towers. This is probably the most popular location of all time, released during Chapter 1 Season 2 with the huge map update. And for a lot of people, this is probably the best ever POI, and I'd probably agree with that, so I can't really say it's overrated if it is the best, so I'm just going to say it's fairly rated. I think a lot of people do think it's the best, although there were some other great locations in the past, such as the Agency. I think Tilted has to be number 1. Next up, Chapter 2 Season 2. I did do a poll on this a few months back, and most people do say that Chapter 2 Season 2 is the best ever season, and that's what a lot of people think, considering it was such a good time as well. We had all the new amazing POIs, the bosses with the mythic weapons, the vaults, the live event with Travis Scott. It was such a good season, not to mention the iconic battle pass featuring many amazing outfits. This is 100% a top 3 season of all time, so you can't really say it's overrated. I do think it is definitely up there with one of the best. So again, I'm gonna say fairly rated. Next up, Renegade Raider. This is one of the rarest skins in the entire game, released back in Season 1 in the Season Shop with a few other cosmetics, and the main reason it is so popular is because it's just so rare. As a skin, it's nothing special, it's just an average design, but because it is so rare, a lot of people want it for that. But for me, it's gonna have to be overrated. I think it's a decent skin, but there's definitely a little bit too much hype over this. Although it does make a little bit of sense since it is such an iconic and rare outfit, I'm still gonna have to stick with that. Next up, Zero Build Mode. This is obviously a new game mode that's been added a few seasons ago, and this is definitely something that makes Fortnite a little bit more unique. Obviously building is a key mechanic of the game, and I'm definitely more of a build type of player, but I can understand why people do like Zero Build. It makes it a lot more different and a lot more fun for people who aren't really into building, and it makes it a new experience, so I definitely will say it's fairly rated. It's not for me, but I can understand why it is a great game mode. Next up, Thanos LTM. This is one of the most iconic LTMs of all time, and for me, it is the best ever one. We have had some amazing LTMs in the past, such as One Shot and Floor is Lava, but for me, the Thanos Infinity Gauntlet is definitely the best one of all time. It was a load of fun trying to get that Infinity Gauntlet to become Thanos, released back in Chapter 1 Season 4. Definitely gonna go underrated because for me, it is the best one. Next up, Double Pump. Now this was such a fun weapon to use back in the early seasons of Chapter 1, where you could switch quickly between 2 pump shotguns, and it was a little bit overpowered, but that's why everyone used it. And considering how fun this was to use, I'm gonna have to go underrated because there's no way this is overrated. Next up, Midas, one of the most iconic skins in the history of the game, released in Chapter 2 Season 2. I'm gonna have to say fairly rated for this. It's a good skin and a big part of the storyline as well. Next up, Chapter 2 Season 3. This was the flooded themed season, and I know a lot of people didn't like this because the flood was a little bit too much and getting around the map was a little bit more difficult, but for me, I really enjoyed this. It was definitely one of my favourite seasons from Chapter 2. An amazing different experience with the sharks, the boats, obviously the flooded POIs. I liked the loot pool, the battle pass, and I think it was quite underrated, so I'm gonna go with that. Next up, Travis Scott Concert. This is regarded by many probably the best music concert in Fortnite. Definitely one of the best live events altogether as well. So for that reason, it's gonna have to be underrated, because for me, I'd probably say it is the best ever live event. There were so many amazing scenes during this, and it was such an amazing experience. Next up, the Chapter 3 map. This was a great version of the map with so many amazing POIs. Some of the standout ones included the Daily Bugle, which was in Season 1 with the Spider-Man theme, and I really enjoyed that one as well as many others. I'm gonna go underrated. I think this was a great version of the map. Next up, Chapter 2 Season 4. This was the Marvel themed season with amazing skins such as Iron Man and amazing new locations such as Stark Industries. And although this was a great season, I do think a lot of people consider it one of the best from Chapter 2, and for me, I'd probably put it as my third favourite from Chapter 2. I think it was a great season, but I don't think it was the best, so for that I'm gonna say overrated. I do think some of the weapons were way too overpowered, and although I did like the season, I think a lot of people consider it one of the best ever seasons, and for me, it's just not that, although it was good. Next up, OG items. So this includes Raider's Revenge, Aerial Assault Trooper, and stuff like that. For me, I'm gonna have to go overrated. They are decent cosmetics, but just because they're rare, I don't think it makes them that special. Obviously, a lot of people want them because they're rare, but for me, I'm gonna have to go overrated for this. Next up, the Drum Gun. This is definitely one of the best SMGs in my opinion. We've had many amazing versions of it as well, such as Midas's mythic version. For me, I'm just gonna say fairly rated. It is a good weapon. Lastly, the Skybase strategy. This was so much fun to do back in Chapter 1 especially, where we'd always land at Wayland Woods, farm up max woods, and then to a skybase, and it was great fun to do. Definitely one of the best things from Chapter 1. I'm gonna have to say underrated. So that's my list. Do you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comments below. And for now, there's a load more videos on screen here. Make sure to click another one to keep on watching, and I'll see you over there.